citrine
Uh,
flavors.
Excellent. Well, welcome to everybody. This is the new moon, first one in 2025. And I'll say that, and I'm going to light a candle so that we start this whole thing like a ritual. Everything we do and everything that I will, even when we talk as an intro, I want it to be in a ceremony so that we're really involved in ceremony from this moment. So I'll get the candle, I'll light it in front of you, and we get to celebrate this incredibly auspicious moment together. It's auspicious on a number of levels. I'll tell you a little bit about the astrology, but it's auspicious because it is the first moon and it's like an activation of the entire cycle of the year. So we're setting the tone. No pressure. And I like this with blessings on our time together. Blessings on all of you. Blessings. So I'll keep that near, but you won't see it all the time, but it's lit. So I think it would probably be helpful to just all of us do a little intro who's here. And we'll start with everybody else and then we can end with me and I'll say a little bit about my work and lead us into this. But I see you in how I see you. I'm going to call your name to say something because I see you as clockwise and we're working clockwise with this energy. So the first person I see is Kate.
Okay.
So I'd love to hear anything.
Okay. Well, I am Kate. I'm a mom of 3 boys and I live in Colorado Springs, like we were just chatting about. And I am a sacred brand and business mentor. So I use human design as a tool and implement it into my clients' brand strategies, visual identity, websites, all aspects of their business, really. And I am just really looking forward to this new year, new beginnings, the year of the snake, kind of shedding that old skin. It's time. And just very thankful that you are doing this and that I can be here.
Oh, thank you, sister. And then the next person I see is Rebecca going around our circle. You may see it differently, but I'm just going on what I see. So yeah, Rebecca, hello.
Thank you. Hello. Thank you, Nara, for doing this auspicious ceremony. So I'm Rebecca Steele, and I work with energy medicine using biofeedback and hypnotherapy. And so energy tools is a big part of who I am and who I've been for probably the longest time. However, I've come to narrow it down to a field where I can educate and guide people onto a higher vibration. And I just love being around auspicious entrepreneurs. Thank you.
Thank you, sister. And then up to Jenny. Zoop.
So I'm Jenny McCabe, and I am actually a certified money mindset and business coach, which I qualified in 5 years ago now, so quite a long time. But I'm actually not taking on clients because well, not that I'm not taking on clients, but I am trying to focus on growing the Spiritually Fabulous CEO group. That's what I actually want to do this year. As much as I love coaching, the I think I've shared my story before that the marketing of it felt like a full-time job in itself, and I just kept burning out and burning out and burning out. So um have stepped back, I suppose, from coaching, and now looking at building the community this year, which I'm excited about. And I built this community actually because I want to be able to give people a platform to promote themselves. Because, like I said, I was burnt out on social media from always being on social media and trying to produce lots and lots of content. And it just doesn't stop in your mind, like what can I put out today? Or, what's my plan, etc., etc. So, I set this community up with the view of actually giving the building the platform, but giving the stage, if you like, to other entrepreneurs. So that's what why I started this community, because I want other people to shine as opposed to me always thinking about social media, because it's just burning me out, and I know this about myself. So yeah. But I wanted it to be a spiritual for spiritual women in business. So yeah, that's me.
Thank you, sister. Well, what an interesting group are here tonight. The people who will see it afterwards will get the frequency of this group, which is so lovely because, we are four, so we are stable structure, creating something which is very secure. So as we create our secure vision, which might sound a bit, I don't know, it sounds so silly, but if you can take on the two words like security, like what does that really feel like? To me, it's like when I can be safe to be wild, wild and safe. It
Yeah.
sounds a bit like some police warning or something, but but actually, what a frequency
Mhm.
for creation, especially with women, because they need a certain level of security to
Mhm.
be in their empowerment. I'll tell you a little bit about me so you know where I'm coming from with this particular work. I was born completely spiritual. As a little kid, I was completely in the, I lived in Yorkshire. I was in the domain of seeing little fairy circles and things like that. They were a circle of mushrooms. And one of my very early memories was being told that's a fairy ring, because that's what they call a circle of mushrooms, and that are naturally grown. And I remember having this such a deep, like really young child. I'm talking like maybe 4 or 3, something like that. This experience of a circle in some kind of spiritual context, though I had no language for that at that time.
Mhm.
And then at 9, I was living with my beloved grandmother, Ida, who was my mother's mother. And my mother is a doctor and a scientist and an atheist, and probably wonders why she got this daughter, because I'm spiritual and guided by the divine, and I speak it as God, goddess, and I speak it as goddess more than God. So she's an atheist, and she wanted me to be saved from all the Christianity and everything that was in our family. One strand was Catholic, Irish, and the other strand is Scottish, Scottish Church, really, Protestant. So these two interweavings were not my taste at all. I am an Aquarian, and we were just talking about this, Jenny and I. are Aquarians, but I have 6 planets in Aquarius, so it sent me on a very unusual path. And I can acknowledge that, I've walked the path of the Aquarius weird life on some level. And I was a ceremonialist from the beginning. So when I was with Ida, I walked down to the end of a garden and I looked up at the stars on a balmy Yorkshire night, if they even exist. And I had this out of body experience at age 9, which was the connection to everything. We are all connected, the oneness, the stars, And I tried to explain it to my grandmother, and she said, there are healers who are called witches, and they dance naked on the moors, North Yorkshire moors, and they heal people with milk. And I went, those are my people. At age 9, I was like, whatever that means, that's the wild safety piece, because I cannot be safe when I'm cut off from spirituality. That's my jam. So when I was in university much later on, in Canada at that time, I was going out with a guy who was extremely nice and extremely creative, and we even did LSD and did kind of trips together and stuff like that. So it was very cosmic and all of that, but he wasn't spiritual. And by the end of 3.5 years with him, I was starving for some other level of, academia wasn't enough for me, because they go up to a certain level of thinking and then they spend all the time proving that they're right in this one sphere, right? So that's academia. Same with politics, same. And then to go higher than that, to give yourself to the path, to fall into your calling, to be divinely inspired about what you're here for, you have to go up a level. It doesn't work to stick at just that tiny little level. So I knew that I needed to go find the witches and the healers. And that's exactly what I did. I went on holiday to England and I never came back. I'm here now. I never went back to Canada. That's how I left. It was by saying, that's the end of that cycle. This is not my land. Canada was not my land. And I came to find, through pure intuition, instinct, gut, whatever you want to call it, the place of power. And after all this spiritual work, I found the witches in London, and my high priestess is called Vivian Crowley. In her own right, she's an author. She's done many, many things. She's really promoted this ancient path. And I went to a little Covent Garden history of paganism course, and at the end of each night they would do a little ritual. And what happened for me was the history was of interest for sure, because I did a history major, but the ritual was even if it was short and simple and just tiny interaction with the elements, it changes things, right? It totally changes things. So I then became trained as a high priestess with her. Initially, it was a priestess, which you can stay at for the rest of your life. You don't have to go high, but the high means teacher. So I had a calling to be a teacher in this, and also to be of service, because when you go to the 2nd degree, that's exactly what it means. You have to teach people. So I've spent 30 odd years initiating people, training them in their own way to be as big as they can become, right? As big as they want to is where we go. So that was all happening. And then I took on yoga in the same way. I've done yoga for 30 years. So I had the East and the West of these spiritual paths coming in. Many places they intersect, and there are some differences, but only in technique, not in consciousness. And just around that time, when I was deep in both, I collided with big business, and I would be the last person on earth at that time that I would think, I'm in the arts, excuse me, I studied film, and I have no business knowledge. It's not in the family. They're all academics. There is nobody except my Auntie Margaret, who ran a flower shop in Leeds, who was into business and didn't make any money doing that. So when I collided in this, there was a cycle that I now recognize as a power cycle. And I want to talk to you about this power cycle with this example. So I had it when I left Canada. The power cycle is that deep, I'm an emotional authority, Kate. So I feel it like it's a repeat pattern of being the same thing is repeated over and over. And it's usually, it's time to wrap something up. It's time to, this is no longer a fit. And I then feel into it, and then there's a sudden decision that happens, which is like the end. And it happened when I came to England, and I just never went back. And then it happened when I was a professional photographer working successfully in media, and had always been in film or photography. So that's part of the puzzle, that it was not that I was in a moment of failure. It was when I was in a moment of success. So I want you guys to tune into that bit, that you're already in success. These are the conditions of the work we're doing today, that you already consider yourself successful, because you are. You've done your path for a long time. You know a lot of things in your own right, in your own realm. And then at a success point, there's something else. It's like this, there's a kind of knowing. And because I'm the emotional authority, I can just say, for me, that's how that works. For you guys, it will be all variables on how you receive information. So this piece came in, which was like, it's the end of your photography, kind of, whatever. This is the end, my friend. I can't even articulate it. And the next thing is, on Christmas Eve, I'm standing in this flat that I've just photographed, like a James Bond style flat. It is the epitome of wealth and success. If I shot myself, it would be like, oh, look at me, I'm in this flat. It's mind blowing. But what's happening for me is like, I can't do this anymore. I just can't do this anymore. So I go to the window and look out over the Thames, acknowledging this is amazing where I am. And then I went, that's it. I'm not doing this anymore. So, but what I thought was by the new year, I would not be going back, because this is Christmas Eve. It's my last night. I have to upload all these photographs, but after that, I'm on holiday for 2 weeks. So I walk away from this thing and I have no idea what I'm going to do at all. Zip. And I received this email 3 days later, and I would like to say that it was on a full moon. So many of these things have been, and I can't actually remember, but I received this email and it says, do you want to change your life? And I say, yes, I do. And then I follow into the way that they present it, because it's a group of coaches. They were the Enlightened Millionaire Institute at that time. They wanted to create 1 million millionaires all over the world who were conscious. That was their thing. So I end up speaking to this guy from America, of course, and he gets me to, I have to do this sort of little survey, if you like, and I have to write about a house. I'm supposed to write about this house that I live in, and I create this image of a villa, and I go into great detail, including the kitchen smells and where the placement these things is, and then I write all about that, I send it in. So they contact me and they say, no, you're perfect for the course, of course, but I believed them too. There was something about the authenticity of this guy. When he spoke to me, I had no doubt that he was actually speaking to my soul. Like, I really do want to change my life. And within the next phone call, I said, okay, I'm going to do it. And I didn't even know what it was. He goes, okay, well, you get to choose from, you're a calculated risk taker, you're the perfect entrepreneur. You can study one of four things. It was like business, trading, infopreneuring on the web, or property. And I just went, property, let's do it. The next thing I know, 3 months in, the coaching is, oh, that was the other thing. I didn't have the money. So I say, I don't have the money. And he said, do you have a credit card? And I go, yes, I do. So I paid $6,000. This is a long time ago. It's like 24 years ago, on credit cards with total trust for this guy. Something I would never tell my mother, right? All the things that they say don't do, I did. Because it leverages you to be able to take opportunities. So I calculate a risk. I take this risk. At 3 months, he says the homework is to go buy a flat. And I go, or you're off the course. It's like that. And I go, like, initially it was like, oh, come on. Like, really? That's my homework this week. But he was serious. It was like, you are going to do this. And he said, you know all the figures, you know the what you've created as your my particular model was the rim of an area that was very up and coming. So it wasn't the area that was up and coming, it was the rim. It's known as the rim model. You may not want to say that to anybody. Sounds a bit naughty and weird. Don't think about people's rims. But anyway, that was my model. And I went out and did it. I did exactly what he said. So within 5 years, I'd brought one other person in the business, a friend of mine who had equity. So we added the equity together. We started pulling out equity. We'd do a project, it might take 6 weeks. We'd pull out 100 grand from each one, then built up and ended up with 10 million. And when I look at that, I was a hippie. I was a dope smoking, photographer, traveling hippie, really deeply, with no interest in business at all. And then I'm plummeted into this whole world where I've just opened up something for it to happen. I would go into each building and I would feel it. Is this the right fit? Would somebody be happy here? Blah, 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 that kind of thing. And it would be yes or a no. And I would just go, okay, yes. So whenever that cycle, if we now reverse engineer this cycle, this is possible tonight because the conditions are favorable for this kind of thing to happen. There's a big movement between Aquarius and Pisces, which is this, it's a never-ending vision. They're the two most spiritual signs of the zodiac. They're at the end of the entire wheel, and they actually don't really deal in the elements. They're not earth, air, fire, water. They're ether and consciousness coming together. Now that is one of the most abundant expressions because it's never ending. You know, it's just like moving out. And for us to move out in this wave of consciousness, like unplug from the system. That's Aquarius. There is a better way. There are more humane, nature-loving, happy lives to be had than this corporate mess that we've just had, and some of the extreme problems on the planet. So we are being asked at this time today to consider what is it that you need to leave behind so that you can effortlessly float out on outer space and be also completely attuned with the right frequency of your calling. So I'm going to do an experience where you get to embody this rather than just hearing about what it's about. So roll on. I did a massive property business, didn't end there. Got hit by the 2008 crisis, which was so worldwide and horrendous. Couldn't sell anything, had to hold it rather than, this rotational of projects. And we saved everybody else's equity, everybody's, including our own, but we couldn't expand at that time. So I suddenly then found myself going into much more retreats with yoga and other things. And then I ran a yoga festival for 4 years, created it, set it up. It was a massive vision. Never worked so hard in my life, actually. But boy, have I built my capacity. And that's another thing. And the final two things that I've been working on recently are I created an aphrodisiac oil 2 years ago. Goddess knows where that came from, right? It was like a divine inspiration. And so I went and got a medicine woman from Canada who's amazing at oils. She put all of these ingredients, which are historic aphrodisiac herbs, together and created a potion. I did all the designs and everything, and I'll show it to you. Actually, I've got to just get one so you can see what the project was. And there's somebody else arriving now. So you can see it's called the Queen's Pleasure Arousal Oil. And there it is. And it's very nice. And I've been using it myself. And I've been attracting, because I was solo, it was created for solo women. It's, organic, natural, all of that kind of thing, but effective. And the more that I've been being in the energy of pleasure and abundance, I've attracted, an inconvenient love of my life. I call him my destiny, but I've never had such an amazing experience with somebody that's happening right now. Now that abundance piece was, again, these waves of abundance, they come in different areas, right? I can't see you, whoever arrived. I think you might be on the phone, but I wanted to say hello to you. Welcome, because your name isn't on it. It's just a phone number. So you can see the diversity of the projects. The other thing is I've just created something as well called Dignified Divorce. Worked on that for the last 1.5 years with somebody who I used to coach. And she works with billions. Like, she's one of those women, genius in her own particular niche, which is sort of the highest level of an overview. Once Dubai Port gave her the job of running Dubai Port. Like, who does that? It's such a skill set, to all the legals, all the ships going in and out, all the different service providers, everything, the temperature on the boat, blah, 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 all of that. So she invited me to come on board and do the well-being aspect of a divorce group. So we advise legals, we advise financial. I run the journey of somebody going through the ending of a chapter to help them with well-being practices. And then I also handle the renew bit when it's the next chapter after you've finalized the divorce. The reason I'm telling
Could
you,
have done with that 10 years ago.
you could have done with that.
I could have done with that 10 years ago when I went through my divorce.
Well, I'm your girl on that one. But again, it's sort of ceremony. Everything I do is to do with ceremony. So the ritual oil is for you to take on as a ritual and get into self-love. And the divorce is sending out like waves of stopping the combat between people who have been in love. right?
Mm.
It's bringing deep healing in that respect. So the reason I've given you some of those aspects, because people can get stuck in a groove of what they think they are. It's the identity. They think they're only one thing.
Mm.
What we want to cause tonight is a ripple of an opening for you into your next level of consciousness. And when you feel the consciousness, and it can be anything, that's what I mean. You're not being asked to come up with a whole vision. You're being asked to pull the tail of the snake a little. Like, what is it that
Mm.
I really have a calling for? And we're going to follow that into outer space with Pisces and Aquarius and magnify everything for you. So rather than you having to push it out there, this wave of abundance is coming at you and you're going to receive it. It's a conscious receiving.
Yes.
So it's a good moment to stop, ask a question, go to the toilet, make a cup of tea, whatever you need, because we'll go into the experience in a second.
Interesting. I'm a Pisces.
Great. Hopefully you should get a big hit of it then. There's a lot of Pisces this year. Big influence of Pisces this year.
Mm,
So, you know, they
Yes, I've
really are
heard
the
that.
dreamers.
yeah. With an Aries moon.
Mm, interesting that.
Yeah. So
That's
I
what.
find that it's about understanding the fire and um, understanding meaning tuning into the fire of the
Let's
moon.
bring this back for you.
Yeah.
Connect. Oh, the fire of the moon. I love that. Nice idea. So it would also be maybe useful to just say what we want to bring in at this point,
Mm.
this new moon. So wait till Kate comes back, but just
So
say,
you're an Aquarian and Jenny's an Aquarian. And I
Yeah.
wonder what Kate is.
yeah, we'll ask her.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
among many other things, I've got moon in Taurus, so I'm completely governed by Earth in a big way, and Scorpio rising. So that's water and earth on a very deep level. Fire is my least thing, although I've got something significant in Leo. So I've got a square. I've got one of those fixed squares, which is supposed to be incredibly challenging, I would say.
Well,
I wish I'd
my
read mine before we came on, because it was only a few months ago I was like reading into it, and I just can't remember at all, because I've well, Rebecca will know this as well, but um I went through a stage of being very interested in human design, so I kind of forgot everything about the horoscope stuff, because
Yeah,
I was going down a little bit. Well, and you were as well, weren't you, Rebecca? We were going down a human design kind of rabbit hole at one point. So,
well,
because
it's great.
that's something I would actually like to um get a qualification in at some point, is human
Interesting.
design. Yeah, I find it absolutely fascinating
It is.
reading all
I
the.
I find it interesting. I find that the as I hear all these things, I embodying them. I think getting the the qualification is you're already qualified
Yeah.
Mhm.
by that the interest and the passion you have, because
Mm.
I have emotional authority as well,
Mhm.
and it is I feel that that is also you embody all of these things, and the certification of things. I seem to have moved out of all of that for this year in and embodying the whole of all that is.
I think I was more interested in, because as part of the certification, it's about being able to read, you know, the gates and the you know, the defined and undefined not the chakras, what do they call them?
The channels.
Channels and
the
it was more probably the study side of things that I was interested in, getting like the study materials so that I could be more informed, I suppose.
Yes.
Because I did find it really, I do find it fascinating. I do.
It is fascinating.
It's an amazing art and correspondences. So, but I think it, you know, it links with so many other divination tools.
It really does, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll just tell you, I'm a 5-1 projector, so that might help you guys know who I am on that level. Maybe
I'm
you want to go around, say what you are.
6-3 generator.
I'm 2-4 generator.
I'm a 2-4 manifesting generator.
Woo, I'm surrounded by.
What star sign are you?
Me?
Yeah.
Cancer.
Oh, my sister's Cancer.
Yeah, that's interesting. Do you know your rising sign and your
Yeah, Capricorn moon, Virgo rising.
Very quite earthy. Earth and
Yeah.
water.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've got Capricorn as well. It's like, oh, okay. Set up this structure.
Yeah.
But I can see, Inarra, you are projector. Because the projector is it projector, or I think it is, isn't it? You are you make decisions based on the moon.
That's the reflector.
Oh, I do, totally.
Reflector is.
Oh, that's the reflector.
Reflector
That's
might be
reflector. Oh, yeah, that's the reflector, isn't it?
Well, I do it as well. It's, you know, my moon, the way, so I can see the projector in that I work with people, I work with leaders, and I am in the back end of their business. So I'm quite hidden. I don't need the adulation and all the rest of it. I need acknowledgement, right? Projectors need acknowledgement, but not like I always have to be center stage in that role when I'm walking with them. So I help promote them in a way, promote their vision, and it's a back of the, what's the word, behind the scenes.
Yeah, you're
teachers.
the one that's.
But they're great teachers, aren't they? Projectors are great teachers. They're
we're definitely
leaders and teachers. That's what. But as you said, more behind the scenes, isn't it? So
definitely, and I think the thing is, you can say, so a great moment with Prince. I was obsessed with Prince. In fact, you can see how obsessed. Can you see?
Oh yeah, the poster.
Can you see the poster? I can't get the right angle for you, but right down there is a Prince poster from a jazz gig that I went to. But once he did this, he stood at the front, and of course, you know, he's Prince. And he went, "Are you a leader?" And then all these people went, and he went, "Or are you a follower?" And then a few went, "Ooh, I'm a follower." And he went, "Follow me." And he went up to this woman, and it wasn't the leaders that he chose. It was like somebody, he said, "Follow me." And she had to follow him all the way up on stage, and he sang to her. It was like, so that's the power of receiving. It's the power of not the doing masculine, it's the receiving feminine pause, where you consciously, like, owning that I'm a follower is amazing. I would follow Prince, right? I wouldn't follow a lot of people, but I would follow Prince to the end of the earth. So you choose who you follow. And some of these themes will come in tonight, actually, because we're looking at, whenever I'm looking at anything, I'm looking at power structures, right? That's the main thing. I work with the queen energy as a way of you tapping into an archetype that you can associate with your power. So that will come up at a certain point. But everything I do is to do with power. And I say it in the most empowered way, right? It's neutral, it's even, it's not power over, it's you're humming, your engine is humming to the perfect attunement. Oh, the kitty. I love cats.
That's Luna.
Luna. Oh, Luna, it's your
Oh,
night. It's
Oh,
yeah.
the new moon was 3 days ago, or coming up to 3 days, and there's a PowerPoint moment on 3 days after the new moon, which is why we chose today, not the actual moon, in the ancient cycles. So it's a magical, magical, magical day today. It's super auspicious, and Luna is part of that. So if you come to a comfortable space, comfortable seat, if you can uncross your legs and your hands so you have even connection to the earth. So you may keep your eyes shut now for the whole experience. Allow yourself to become very soft and heavy. And as you breathe, feel yourself breathing as widely as you can into your body. Allow yourself to breathe into the back. As you breathe out, breathe like just letting it out. This is kind of a shamanic meets yoga breath. So the inhalation through the nose is the yoga. Exhale like making that noise is very shamanic technique. And when you use them together, it's very powerful. So as you continue to breathe, you might want to roll your shoulders up. Breathe them up to your ears and exhale, roll them back down. You can drop your head slightly, then roll it slightly to the right, down again, to the left, down again, right, and then all the way over and around, slowly releasing the neck. And then the other way. Inhale up and down, and up and down, up and down. Feeling all the tension releasing. And allow yourself to just go in your mind to a place on the planet which is your favorite landscape. Absolute beauty. It can be anywhere on the planet. It can be desert or mountains or ocean or fields. Allow yourself to go there and experience the whole of that landscape, the foliage, the way the land forms, and feel how you feel in this incredibly beautiful place. Feel how you soften in this place that you love. Feel how comfortable you are as you breathe in breathing in the environment, feeling it cleansing and clearing every cell in your body. So you're breathing it in like you're breathing it through your cells. And it moves through with this wonderful breeze. The colors and the feeling of this place, this beautiful place that you love so much. And you feel the wind on your face and how comforting that is. Your hair blows a little bit and the temperature is perfect. And as you lean forward to look down at your feet that are standing on this earth, you want to pick up a scent of the earth. Feel the texture of it with your toes, but bending forward, you're trying to smell the earth. This good earth, which could be desert, rich soil, grass, ferns. And as you bend forward, you also notice that your feet are bare on the earth and that you are naked. And as you gradually stand up, you feel this feeling of being absolutely wild and naked and absolutely safe. Wild and safe at the same time. And to the side of you there is a tree, and hanging on this tree is a beautiful robe, and you know that it is for you. And so you walk over naked and barefoot, and you feel the fabric of this exquisite robe which was made for you by the most skilled artisans. And as you pick it up and drape it over your head, and it slides effortlessly onto your arms and swishes down your belly and swirls between your legs, and you feel this beautiful cascade of fabric, and it fits perfectly. And standing there, you feel like a queen. You feel the first flush of this energy. You notice what color the robe is. And you also notice if it has any symbol on the breast, any emblem, just noticing. And then looking down at your feet, you see a pathway going off into the landscape, made of large slabs of crystal. So they are like flagstones going off into the distance in this path. And something in your mind tells you that this is the path of the Queen. And as you place your feet on the first flagstone, you feel the energy of thousands of queens who have walked before you. And the energy in the path itself has a frequency like electricity, energizing from below, entering up through the soles of the feet, this deep connection to the earth and to the path. And walking along for some time, you enjoy walking into nature, feeling the beauty of this place that you so love. And there is a little old woman some way up the path who looks like she's 120 years old. Lines on every part of her face and eyes so bright. She holds your gaze and you look into her eyes and she reminds you that there is something that you need to do. And she asks you to turn around, and there you see a massive oak door going all the way up. And she invites you to close the door. You realize that there is a crack. The door is not shut, And through that crack, you can feel all these old energies of disappointment, frustration, doubt, irritation, rage, sadness. And you recognize this as part of an old cycle. You really allow the feelings to come through that door. And then taking a deep breath, you stand up straight and you shut that door. And the energy is immediately cut off. You seal the door not only by shutting it, but by writing a sigil with your finger on the door, which seals it. And then you turn back round, and the old woman says, "Welcome." And with a hand gesturing towards the path, she invites you to continue walking. As you walk along round the side of what is a hill, the path starts to descend down, and you see to the right the most exquisite pool, steaming. And it is the most beautiful pool that is both natural, but also you can see there's a little staircase going down into the water. The water is completely crystal clear, and you feel compelled to go in. So you hang up your robe and you walk down the little crystal staircase into this delicious heated pool. And as you lay back, the water is so buoyant. Your hair spreads out around you. You relax and lay floating on the water. And the guardian of this place comes and takes a guardian position so that you feel completely looked after as you are able to lay back and let the visions come. This pool is no ordinary pool. It's a magical pool, and the waters in it are magical. And as they move through every cell of your body, not just on the outside, but moving through all parts of you, clearing and cleansing into the water old thought patterns, feeling anywhere that is dense, feel it in your body. Ask your body, where is there a heaviness? And when you're shown, start breathing into that place. Letting it out. And as it rises onto the surface of this water, it just dissolves. The magic taking place, but clearing the density. And then as you lay back, knowing that it has joined the water and has been transmuted, the guardian leans over and pours a drop of oil on your third eye and places one hand on your shoulders so you're bobbing up and down, but you feel this warming connection. And then you start to see the visions. This is the trailing of the snake tail. You see it disappearing into cosmic space, and you reach forward and grab the tail of the snake. And as it pulls you into this space, you feel in this queenly way all that you are capable of, all that you came here to express, all that you desire. all that gives you pleasure, all that surrounds you by wildness. And you feel this radiance radiating out in all directions to infinity. And you can flavor it by thinking a little bit about, what is my desire? What is my desire? And you think, what is my yes? What is my yes? And you feel, what is my calling? And as you lay there merging with these energies, the guardian says it's time to go. And you roll round once in the water to feel the refreshment, this beautiful steaming pool. You feel cleansed. And the guardian helps you come out all the way up the spiral staircase and lovingly dries you off. You are just receiving as the guardian looks after you, and you feel looked after and held. And then you put back on the robe, noticing this beautiful color again. And the guardian leads you over to an altar by the water, an ancient stone altar. And there on it you see crystals, which are symbols of the earth, incense billowing up, symbol of the air, a beautiful candle, symbol of fire, and a chalice of water. And there at the center, there is a gift for you. And the guardian hands it to you. The first thing you feel is the weight of it. And then you feel the form of it. And then gradually, it starts to become present to you. As you look into your hand, you see the gift, you feel the gift. And experience the symbol of the gift moving through your heart, breathing into your heart. Receiving the symbol, allowing it to move through your heart space. And then you turn away from the altar, you thank the guardian, and you walk along the path. And there in the distance, you see the most beautiful new crescent moon, the thinnest of the thin, rising in the sky. And standing before this beautiful symbol, this most auspicious one, anything that you desire, everything you desire, experiencing that place while looking at the moon. And then go one step further. Anything that you desire. And where's the stretch? Add the cherry on top. Add it to infinity. Feeling the self-worth. Feeling you as queen energy. There's no question. And then feeling the whole energy of this space, the moon in this beautiful landscape, feeling the beautiful robe, feeling the fabric, feeling the satisfaction and the contentment and the pleasure. Allowing yourself to just keep your eyes shut and then rub your hands, rub, 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 and placing them over your closed eyes, breathing in and exhale. And keeping your hands on your eyes, and then start to rub your forehead, your temples, back of your head, jaw. Open your mouth, zig it around, zig, zig, zig your jaw. Throat, rub your throat. Open your mouth. Heart, rub your heart. All the way down, solar plexus. Sacral, womb space. And then rub your hands along your legs. And then when you feel ready, gradually coming into this space. I muted all of you, so you have to unmute. So this energy that we're feeling right now,
Yeah. Very expansive.
bring it in, bring it in, bring it in, receive it, receive it, receive it. You're receiving the farthest reach that you will go cosmically. You don't have to know what it is. It's just, it's your path. I'd be interested to know what your gifts were. So I'll do it clockwise again. So Kate, what was your gift?
A feather.
Feather. Mm. Any particular color?
White. It's all
White
white.
feather.
Like a big white feather, yeah.
Ooh, nice. And your robe, what color was that?
At first, it was white, all white with like silver embroidery. And then when I woke up out of the pool, it was like a deep, dark emerald color.
Amazing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So big heart movement going on there.
Mm, yeah. That was great.
It's beautiful. And the green with the white feather, very designer.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Rebecca, what was your
Yeah.
gift?
My gift was this feeling that I held a heart.
Mm.
I held a heart in my hands. My gift was a heart. And it felt formless, yet had form. It was weightless, yet had weight. So it had the opposites
Mm.
that came together.
Mm. And your robe color?
So my robe was white and then had rose on the breasts, and then it became the lotus.
Oh, lovely.
Mm.
And then after the coming out of the pool was a pink
Oh,
robe.
Mm.
Yeah,
another transmutation then.
yeah.
Yeah, of robes. I honestly have never heard that before. That a robe has changed color, and two of you have said that tonight, like ever before. Something's
Mm.
going on.
Yeah.
That's the shift right there. Jenny?
So my gift was a it was a diamond, beautiful white diamond. And actually my robe didn't change color, but it changed material, if you like.
Wow. Okay.
So when I first put it on, it was a very soft, like very soft brushed cotton, I suppose. I suppose it was cotton. Was a little bit shiny, but it felt very luxurious and quite heavy. But when I got out of the pool and put the robe on again, it was a silk robe. So it was a lot lighter, or silk or satin. So it was a lot lighter in feeling, but the color remained the same. It was pink, but the
Mm.
material felt different. It was, I'd say, lighter and more flowy. So yeah, so my robe was a I suppose it was rich cotton, but it felt so soft. Anyway, but yeah, I'm not quite sure what it was to begin with, but it was some kind of very soft cotton, very luxurious, but then it was um a satin or a silk robe coming out of the pool. So
With a
yeah.
diamond, very nice.
Mm. So yeah. So
Well,
not a change of color, but a change of material.
you might want to look at your symbols
Mm.
during this time. It will be inner knowledge that will just go to where it needs to
Mm.
activate you. You're being activated, and clearly there's a lot of shift going on there. Yeah.
Mm.
I got a key which turned into an ankh. So
Turned
then
into a
an
And
ankh, A-N,
ah,
an Egyptian ankh, like a
yeah,
key that changed
yeah.
into an I wasn't really with you with the robes or anything like that. There's just that one moment. Everything else was the journey.
Mm.
But now you can actually take a moment with whatever you're doing to write some of that down, just
Mm,
the little things that have gone on for you tonight,
mm,
and take the journey that you're taking. You're being asked to step up to your calling now.
mm,
And when you step up to your calling, you're surrendering. There's nothing to do.
mm,
This is what you came to do. Now do it. It's that wonderful feeling of, oh, yep. And you'll know the yeses
mm,
and you'll know the no's. And the only confusion you can get with the no's, the no's are some of the most powerful, even more than the yeses at times, with your boundaries, with your discernment as a queen. And there is a way that we can hold ourselves back with a no, where we go, oh, it didn't all happen, so therefore it wasn't meant to be. And
mm,
that little story is rubbish, right? And you've got to know the bit. That's where fear will be coming in to try and alter you. I'll give you an example on this one, just so you're really clear on this. It's like I had a group of clients who didn't pay me and who are now in a liquidation situation. And it caused a great disruption to me. It was sudden non-payment. And so I was not comfortable. So there's little twiddles of scarcity come up, with things like that and whatever. There's just a little bit of an edge. And oh, hang on. Oh no. Oh no. I've just gone. Where did that idea go? Hang on a minute. What was I telling you? Just remind me. What was I? Did I say something?
about watching out for no's
Watch out for
or
no.
interpreting no's.
So there's this situation that's going on, and I know that I'm gonna solve it because that's who I am. I know that at the highest level of calling, but I have these little going on, and I felt the no coming into going to Bali because I was planning on going to Bali, and I felt the no. Oh well, it might not be the right time, and it's this and that, and you're paying when there's just like this uncertainty. I checked into it a little bit more, and it's like, no, I have to go to Bali. It's not. There's something else going on with this thing. So I worked with my mindset during that because the no is incorrect. It's my fear as the no. And today I booked my ticket. It's like, yes, you know.
Mhm.
So watch your no's. When you're really, really clear on it's a no, it's the end of a cycle, whatever that is, you can walk softly away by just going, it's a no. It would be like a food choice that you really dislike. So what do I really dislike? What do you really dislike? Think of what you dislike.
Avocados.
Avocados.
Mm.
Anything else? Any other food thing?
Zucchini.
Zucchini? Courgette? Rebecca, what's a I don't like them.
I suppose raw fish.
Oh, raw fish. Okay, great. So you know how easy it is to say it's a no.
Yeah.
That's the way you want to be with no's.
Yeah.
There's no question, there's no drama. I don't
Mm.
like that thing. I don't like white asparagus, that gelatinous kind of. I like green ones, but the white ones are disgusting and they're served in Italy cold. And whenever people go, oh, but it's amazing, I go, ugh, it's just no. That's what you want to be working with. It's that easy. There's no complication in your head
Mm.
around it.
Yeah.
That's a good tip.
Yeah. That is actually. There's no confusion.
No
Yeah.
confusion. It's just like, and when you're feeling it and you're trying to speak to yourself because you're you can be in the fear no or the good no. The
Mm.
good no is it's white asparagus. It's a
Mm.
no.
Makes you want to vomit.
Yeah.
It's a no. I don't need to be
It's
one
an
of those
easy
people.
no. It's an easy no.
It's an easy no. That's what we want to bring in. And then the consciousness can expand your, because you're clear, like, no, that's a no. So I
Interesting.
really
Mm. So
wish
those that you're questioning, there could be something behind that.
well, you that's
It,
just a trick of the path that will never go away, right?
mm,
For the rest of
mm.
your life, you'll have to learn, is that a little fear no? Or is it actually, no, it's a
No, no.
courgette no,
Yeah.
right? You want to go for your courgette no's.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wish you the most magnificent year,
Mm.
because we can say that on this day. It really is setting a tone for a huge body of work that's going to come out of you, whatever that be, whether it be business, life, adventure, love, partnership, children, whatever it is, whatever that goes towards. Imagine it's the beginning of a very big cycle all the way to the end of the year.
Mm.
And I wish you so much happiness, luck, success. You can always connect with me on Instagram. I'm doing a free Valentine's Day, actually. It's called Conversations on Pleasure. It's completely free.
Oh,
It's based on the Queen's Pleasure hosting conversations by different experts. So there's 6 of us this time. And somebody's doing the pleasure of nature. Somebody's doing teaching you the orgasmic way. Somebody's doing sex and money, menopause and the myths of that, and sensuality through the menopause. They're all aspects of pleasure. I'm doing desire. So I'm going to fire up your desire center. So I
your
guess
Instagram handle.
it's my name. If you see
Just
Inarra
your, yeah.
Ariane Griffin.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's also the Queen's Pleasures, which is at Queen's Pleasures with an extra S. Pleasure S, it looks like, but it's Queen's Pleasures. So you can find out information on there. There's just a link, and you just go to the link and sign up. What you'll do is you'll end up signing to an email so that I can send you this information. It's not being hosted on a site. I send you these conversations. So
Oh, I got you straight away, actually.
pleasure
Body play.
is a manifesting tool, and I believe that pleasure could stop wars. If we were all in our pleasure, how could you possibly think about conflict,
Mm.
right? So it's a big one. You'd all be welcome. So nice to meet you.
And you, thank you
Yes, thank you.
very, very much. That was amazing. That's the sound bowl was like, I could have listened to that all night.
Such a good one, this one. It took me
Yeah.
20 years to find. I played lots of things, but this is,
Yeah, it's sublime. It's really
it's my
such,
storytelling tool.
yeah.
So yeah, anything else anyone wants to say before we go into the moon?
Rebecca, have you got or
I'm just clicking on Ariane's Instagram handle. So yeah, I'm just so grateful in the sense that there is this expansion, and to have no expectation, to detach from what it should look like, what it could look like, and just feel it as a gift.
Mm.
of
Actually, I
expansion.
feel the same. I went into that meditation like with no kind of expectations about what I'm gonna release. Well, I kind of knew what I wanted to release, but certainly what I want to call in. Because yeah, it was obviously a little bit different to um the New Year workshop that we did about releasing what we wanted to release. So yeah, I feel the same actually. I just want to be open to receiving, actually. I think that
Mm,
is, for me, that's important this year to be able to receive, because you can get stuck in that masculine energy where you're always doing and doing and doing, and we're not in enough feminine energy in receiving and pleasure and fun.
yeah.
So that's what I want this year.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah, and
More fun, yeah.
having a sacred masculine that has integrity,
Mm,
to hold the sacred feminine
mm,
of the
mm,
and to create that sense of safety. Um, yeah.
Nice.
mm.
Well, and also I hear it's you're probably, I don't know, the another person who talks about Bali. That must be another, perhaps a sacred ley line of energy
Definitely.
Mm.
coming
It's
up.
the
Very
same.
spiritual. Bali is very,
Very
very
spiritual.
spiritual.
Yeah.
Mm,
I absolutely love Bali.
mm.
Yeah.
I
I
keep
mean,
saying that I
I'm
need to go back.
hoping the construction isn't like it apparently is terrible right now. During COVID, there were 30,000 visas given to Russians who came out of Russia during this war situation with money, and they're buying up everything. And so a
Mm,
lot of Bali has kind of sold out on its old, they just sold out for the money. And they even, they're cutting down the banyan trees, which used to be their sacred symbol. They would never cut
mm,
down a banyan tree.
mm,
So there's a little piece of Bali that is going ballistic. I really liked it 20 something years ago. It was
mm.
absolutely amazing. But I'm hoping I can still find, you know, not construction sites.
Yeah.
I
Well,
wonder if that was what you got as your no, because of that, what has been said to you, right? And the yes, meaning when you go, the banyan trees are there
Yes,
waiting for you.
exactly. I mean, I've got a whole story about the construction. I've worked in construction. I don't want to hang out in construction though. It's so noisy and horrible going into, it's fine to go in and see it and leave. But yeah, isn't that interesting? So that could be a fear no. Exactly.
mm.
That's not an white asparagus no. So I've fought it and I've got the ticket and it's like, yes. So I'm going 3.5 weeks in from March 8th
Yeah,
over the spring equinox. It should be
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh, that would be
with the
amazing.
banyan tree
Yeah.
as your symbol
Yes,
of
Yeah.
indeed.
You need to
Indeed.
put it on your robe.
Yeah, don't cut me down.
Nobody's going to cut me down.
Right.
with what you've just shared with us, uh, Ariana or
It's
Inara,
Inara. Inara
right?
is my
Inara, right?
name. Yeah.
I just think I feel that you've got the Queen's energy,
Yeah.
so no one messes with the Queen.
Well, that's good that you're feeling it because, I feel pretty solid on Queen stuff. And I'll tell you something just about the energetics of that. I have, I don't do tests on people or anything like that, but I've worked with enough people to know that when uh, they come up with a whole reason not to do something, they're out of their Queen energy, right? So
Mm.
that's like the non-sacred no, it's the fear no. And so there was a woman who I was coaching, and she worked in a massive, big, cool coaching organization. And she was surrounded by super masculine women who were like hyper
Mm,
aggressive. I met them and it was like, holy
mm,
shit, these women
yeah.
are corporate, like, and she wasn't. She was very much in their world, but she was a people person, and her strength was that. And so all these aggressive, animals around her were saying, you're going to have to change department. You're going to have to go into a different realm. And she was people pleasing. So I asked her when she was normal 9 questions, including, are you happy to change into this different department? Are you happy to work with so and so? Are you happy, all of these things, because we were working on business. And each one of those, there was only one no that came out. Everything else was, yeah, yeah, sure, I could, yeah, huh, this kind of thing. Yeah, mm-hmm. And then we did the Queen activation, and I asked her the same question. She was like, no, 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 nope. I don't know. And I expected that she would enact that, and she didn't. She stayed in that frickin' job for well over a year and a half after that by going back to this, fake no. And really, in the end, she did leave the entire company and set up her own business, which is exactly what she was meant to do. But, it's that kind of thing. You've got the opportunity now to just follow that energy of, and if any of you need any help with any of this kind of stuff, you can always text me, send me a message, and I can further the conversation for you. But I wish
you.
That'd be
I'll
amazing.
come again and do another moon something or other at some point when I.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Yeah, hopefully next time we'll get more people to join. But actually, I quite enjoyed a very small group.
Yeah.
We formed the structure as
Yeah, with the foundation.
we provided this a foundation
Absolutely.
for the rest. Yeah.
So go fly. This is your year.
Excellent.
Sending you so much love.
And
Thank
you,
you.
thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. And I just want to say, Kate is actually doing the next workshop, and she's going to be doing a branding,
Great.
sacred branding workshop
Wonderful.
at the end of February. I think we said 27th, didn't we, Kate?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
So,
looking forward to it.
I'll be sure to come along to that.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's going to be say the branding with human design. So that would be
How
a great one.
exciting. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That'll be an exciting one.
Be great to dive in.
Yeah. Because obviously we love the human design, but I've never really incorporated it into my business. I've done branding with archetypes, but not actually with human design. So that's going to be a great one to go to. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty
Look forward to that one as well.
All
And then
right.
I'll have to have a conversation with Inarra another time for when she can come back and do another one of these. This
Yeah, we'll
would
find
be
it
amazing.
auspicious or something useful. There's always something going on.
Yeah.
Your ritual world. Yeah.
Yeah. I love a good ritual.
Me too. So I send you so much love and happiness
Thank
and
you.
abundance, and see you in future. I'll end this now.
Okay.
Okay.
Stop the
Thank you
recording.
so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.